On December 14th, 2023, officers respond to a welfare check at a residence. Daniel Krug has called because he cannot reach his wife, Crystal Krug, after numerous failed attempts of trying to reach her at the house.
Hello.
Oh, I'm their neighbor, and they called me. They're like, can you go see if she'll answer the
Oh, yeah, he sent us as well, so.
All right, well, you got this.
All righty, man. Appreciate it. $151, send medical, and 110. I need a 4th Sentry. I got a female down in the garage. When did he pop back up?
So, first text message was back in October.
Okay.
Just threats.
Just out of nowhere? Just pop back?
He does this, and he's been doing it for over 20 years.
Okay. So this is
the first time it's this violent and aggressive. The in-person stuff that's scaring the crap out of me and why I logged this was starting since last Tuesday, and it's been almost every day since.
Okay.
I've gotten a few days break.
And it's always been text message, or has it been?
And emails.
Email, okay.
And he's changing his phone number every single time he text messages me too.
That made me go, is this his number? Where is he right now? What kind of car is he? Like this was alarming. He's never said this kind of stuff to me before. So then things go dark, right? And this is when I then contact you guys, because this now is escalating. This is not just threats against me, it's threats against my husband. He contacts me, and you'll see my little log that this is an email address he contacts me now from more frequently, like he actually reuses it. But he is now showing that picture that day. There's snow on the ground. My husband had only gone into work on that Tuesday for Halloween.
I'm guessing that it was creepy, but not real. Lots of people are jerks online. Sure. She and I go through a rough patch, kind of on the rocks. So probably didn't seem that pressing until it was.
Now, I know that people are different, but for the most part, when people explain a story that is true, it's very much like Christelle was explaining it to the officers. Engaged, factual, can point to some certain and specific things. Daniel's responses are very aloof. There's no eye contact, and I know there are personality differences, but something as passionate that you're having to talk to the police, this is very off-putting. And the fact that he talks about creepy, not real, and then he mentions that their relationship is on the rocks. These are things that just don't kind of match what I would expect if we're at this high level of stalking thing. Very peculiar behavior.
Fortunately, even though my husband has a camera in his car, he did not see anybody.
Sure.
And then unfortunately lost all the video because he didn't save it. So
yeah. She didn't want me to panic, so she didn't share all of the details of the log. As I got all of the details, my panic level has gone considerably higher. Not now, because I'm in a police station. Sure. And honestly, this is the safest I've felt since Monday at lunch.
So anyway, just a lot of very sexually explicit, very graphic, very just like poke the bear kind of thing. And then trying to prove to me that he can follow us.
Yeah. I went to the grocery store briefly on Tuesday, and someone behind me dropped a can, and I panicked.
Yeah. My husband did see these, definitely this message, so he very much still remembers that if you ever need someone to corroborate that they saw it, but I don't know how credible of a witness someone that my husband would be, but...
So what am I doing? I'm panicking, and I'm doing a shit job of protecting my wife. As bad as I am, I care more about her safety.
Yeah. Oh, I can understand that 100%.
And I'm sorry for this. We're a mask around the kids.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry.
Unfortunately, like, because this is now, like, so distracting and so constant, and it just, like, anytime my phone buzzes, I'm just like, like, I don't know what's coming my direction.
You can see such a huge difference in the way that Christelle and Daniel explain the situation. Daniel's behavior is just not natural. I get it, and I said it before that we have different personalities, but the way that people explain stories is pretty consistent when they're being factual in the things that they focus on, especially in a very high-level crisis situation.
Springfield Dispatchers meeting.
Hi there. My name is Dan Krug. I don't think this is an emergency, but this feels really weird.
Okay.
My wife isn't responding to text messages or phone calls.
Okay.
And we've had threats against us. We have both been targeted by a stalker.
Okay.
Threats have been made against my life.
Okay.
And threatening to, like, kidnap her, which is why I'm nervous that she's not answering me.
Did what you said. Call police. Couldn't reach you. Call police. Did what you said. I had to protect her. It's not your fault. I must protect her.
This, to me, doesn't come off as very real. It seems more like crisis acting, like this was rehearsed multiple times and what he was going to say. I've been around hundreds of people who have been in the throes of this type of severe crisis, and it's very different than this forced anguish that I'm seeing from Daniel.
I was leaving. She told me that I had to go because she had a meeting. She was rushing me, and I went. She sent tissue, but she texted me, asking me to pick up. So I canceled or skipped my my CFO meeting, so I could get, and I left her for this.
And you couldn't get a hold of her. She sent you that text. And that's as much contact as you had with her today.
People don't go from this calm, able to think through what you did and didn't do. If the man's wife was brutally murdered, you're normally going to see them wailing, crying, I can't talk right now, and just completely still freaking out and not doing that for a minute and then back to calm. It's just consistent. And then at some point it subsides. This seems like crisis acting to me.
You mentioned earlier that she didn't tell you about something kicks. Which one was that? Kickman.
That's what we call the stalker. Came up with Kickman because
I remember having a
all
conversation.
day is going to kick his ass.
We just now need to talk about your rights so we can proceed with getting the answers that we both want.
Yeah. I have two different voices going through my head right now. I have my brother. Yeah, I've mentioned him. He's the sheriff's lieutenant, and I have his voice saying, talk to the police. And in typical cop fashion, he married a prosecutor. So I had Lynn's voice in my head going, get a lawyer.
He can muster up a laugh like that after this horrific incident. This is very, very peculiar behavior. I just don't understand how he is not knowing that he is keying these detectives in on the fact that stuff is not really panning out. I'm sure this is going through their minds as well.
What caused the, anxiety or panic as to why it was so concerning that she didn't respond?
It was a really specific question about a time impacting the kids. That's something she will always respond right away on. And then, other than that, that was enough for me. That felt weird. It hurt me that she didn't tell me about the stalker when it started. but she brought me in right away once he sent her a picture of me. And at that point, she brought me fully up to speed, and I saw the horrible messages. I saw the ad, all that crap. And that's when she and I started working on game plans. What do we do to protect family, to protect the kids, define your threat level? She had a gun. She was armed. I don't want lethal items. We didn't let each other kind of be alone anywhere. Had to take dogs for walk or dog for walks. We would do that together.
So it almost sounds like all this kind of maybe even brought you guys closer, not maybe emotionally closer, but you guys were physically sort of working on things besides your kids.
There was a
mutual...
Yeah, there was a better team feel.
Okay.
We respond to crisis.
Right.
And I told her at that point, I didn't want to die for someone to care about me anymore.
That's really hard.
And I told her I wanted uniforms.
And how does she take that?
Angry. Obviously. Mostly angry that I said it now. With everything else going on. She said she didn't want to talk about it until all of this was done. And then he got quiet. I want a divorce. I have loved you for 20 years. I was hurting when I said that. And what I wanted was her to say she cared about me. She did. What's his name? The other detective said that the cameras were turned off. That shouldn't happen. The only way that the cameras can be turned off is through the app. One of us has to hit the button, and one of them looks like it has something on it. So, in my brain, I'm thinking someone made a move against her.
It's clear that he sees the walls starting to close in as the facts of the case are being placed in front of him. And it's very interesting to see how his body language changes and how his responses start to change. What interestingly happens when a person is placed in this kind of situation and they haven't already invoked their right to not talk or to have an attorney is you can start to see them start to figure out when they're going to say, I'd like to have an attorney. But they're still scared to say that because a lot of times when people say that, they feel like it makes them look guilty.
The story that I have is someone came to the door. Maybe she went outside to get a package, and they must have come in. And she's a fighter. She's strong. She would have fought.
And why do you say that? Have you guys fought before, or you just know that? Okay.
I know her.
Okay.
She refuses to be a victim.
I mean, who do you think killed her?
I think it's Jacob. I think it's...
Okay.
I'm sorry, that's the first time I ever said that.
I'm sorry to... Well, that's what happened, and that's why we're taking this so seriously.
What if I told you that we had already spoken with him? There's no way that he was in town today.
I have nothing. And I'm terrified to bring my children home.
The Gmail account, the Kickman account that you guys initially received with the photo of you in it, and the phone number, those originated through their IP addresses at your office.
Doesn't make any sense. Well, he took the photo of me at my office.
Right. But both of those accounts originated from IP addresses that was back to your office.
I don't know what to do with that. There are Wi-Fi access throughout the facility for employees, and there's public Wi-Fi access throughout the entire facility. And we literally post the passwords in every single meeting room.
He's definitely seen that he's painted in a corner, and now the questions are becoming more and more directed at him possibly being the suspect. The person who he accused of doing this has a rock-solid alibi. The IP address from the digital communications is coming from his place of employment. The cameras at the house are covered up. This situation is snowballing into something that's going to look really, really bad for him if he doesn't come up with a reasonable response as to why all these things point to him, and he knows it.
Because I guess the biggest concern is just the timing of everything, that it just doesn't quite make sense to have somebody create an account, take a photo, and then immediately send it off, and then the account is no longer being used.
None of this makes any sense.
Things are certainly pointing in one direction right now. So I'm going to throw this idea out there, right? You know he has reached out to her in the past, a number of times.
She's been very open about that, yes.
Right. The last time was 2016-ish. He had asked her at one point if she wanted to have sex. So this next time, if there's any bit of question about infidelity, whether it's with or anybody else, we might create an account to see if we can create a facade or see if Christine's actually interested in it. So we ask her and push the bounds a little bit and see if that will confirm our suspicions of infidelity. You don't get the response and the openness you once did for about 28 days, from October 2nd to October 31st. So you amp it up a little bit. Send a photo of yourself to her, an account you create. See what her response is.
Maybe this started out the way that it was recorded, and then maybe it turned into something different.
Is that would suggest that I would put my children through this.
But I think ultimately what happened today would bring you the closest to your children that you've probably ever been in your mind.
There has to be someone
that was able to turn off the cameras, that was able to access password-protected system to turn off cameras, that was able to use your IP address from your work to create accounts, to send messages and photos, to act as a stalking suspect. Well, tell me. Help me make sense of it.
I don't know, I'm not the one who does this. I'm analytical at work, and I read and write fiction at home. I don't do crime drama. I don't know what this is. It's, if you're adamant that it's not Kickman, then there has to be some.
Kickman is a 6.5-hour drive from here. There's no way you could have made that drive. If you flew, we would have record of that. That doesn't show up on any sort of flight record through the FBI, DEA, Homeland Security, anything like that. And then, in fact, he was contacted in his house, severely intoxicated.
I'm going to ask you a couple names to see if you recognize any names. Okay. Have you ever heard of the name Crystal Krug? She may have been Grimsrod when you knew her.
Yeah.
And do you know a Daniel Krug?
No.
No? How do you know Crystal?
She was an ex-girlfriend.
She's an ex-girlfriend? How long's the ex? Like how long ago?
1999.
Oh, so like a long while ago.
She was my very first girlfriend ever.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
When was the last time you talked to Crystal? Has it been a minute?
It's been a minute, yeah.
Like since you moved from...
Yeah,
So that would have been what, back in 2014?
Yeah.
All this time that we've been looking for him, for the protection order, and you just found him today, like that.
'Cause I've been looking at you, but I've been waiting for these records to come back.
Am I under arrest? Is it? It sounds like you're accused.
Am I under arrest? This response, especially in this manner, is not, in my experience, what I've seen from a person that's innocent, that's accused of killing their spouse of 20 plus years. If you did not do it, what I've normally seen is, are you kidding me? I would never kill my wife. Not this very calm, nonchalant. And again, that's strictly circumstantial because people respond to things differently. He said that he writes fiction. So did he write this whole thing out? I don't know. But I'm just saying that as an investigator, if I'm talking to this guy, he's not giving me anything to let me knock down the things that point directly at him.
We have a lot of information that points your direction, and we were hoping that you could provide a legitimate explanation other than it wasn't me.
We have publicly available internet.
Say if we told you that other people you talk to that are close to your wife expressed that she had maybe told them that she suspected you of having...
She said that right to my face. That she wanted to know if it was me. And I told her no.
But why would she suspect that? I don't understand how we take a leap from we haven't had a romantic relationship for a long time in our marriage to I suspect my husband is pretending to be my stalker. How does that happen? There's a missing explanation in there. There's a missing piece to that. I'd like to know what happened this morning. I'd like to know
Me too.
what caused you to get so upset to hurt your wife, because I believe that's what happened. Because there's no other logical explanation.
I want to know what happened. Did she fight? Did she get shots above? Where was she in the house? So tell me. Did she fight? Did she get shots on? Where is she in the house?
We haven't been there to know, and there's only one person in this room that can tell us. Detective King Solomon and I have been here with you.
I think you know the answer to all those questions. I think you got confirmation or found out that she had a boyfriend this morning, or something happened that pissed you off, and you did something that you regret now, because you can't go back. And you can't go back to, stalking her secretly, or pretending to be her stalker, or making plans, having cooperation with one another, although it's not romantic, having cooperation with one another to fight together against Kickman.
You have your theory. It is wrong. Please find the Bible. Is this the point where whatever that checklist is, I say, I'll have it ready.
Yeah, that's fine.
I want you to find who did this. Because I know it's... You don't believe that? Fine. Just don't stop looking elsewhere. Find Are you married? With kids? Divorced? Right behind you. I don't care if you capture him. I just want the fucking bag. He took my children's mother. Don't just assume it's me. Keep looking. Thank you.
And it looks like they did capture him, because Daniel was arrested for first-degree murder, stalking, and criminal impersonation. At the time of this recording, Daniel was convicted life without the possibility of parole. If you like this kind of content, like and subscribe.